Howdy there! So it's exactly 1 week since Valentine's Day and I'm disgustingly single still. So I decided to do the dating profile tag that Emma Blackery set up and was reminded about by the Madhouse. His channel is below. This tag came out like 2 years ago, but I still think its relevance is here. So without further ado, here are the questions. Do you believe in love at first sight? No. I don't think so? Nah. Let's look at it logically. There's attraction at first sight, but love at first sight, that won't amount to anything because you're basing your love on looks purely. How can you know their personality with just looking at a person? What do you do for fun? Okay, I watch YouTube. That's a bit sad, but I do on hours and hours on end, so you have to deal with that. But I guess if I was with someone, I wouldn't be on YouTube on hours and hours on end feeling sorry for myself. I would be out doing stuff like going for a walk, hanging out. Things I like to do are random. I just enjoy people's company. I really want to go to a deserted shopping centre and just like wreak havoc. Like that Simpsons episode, you know, when Bart and Milhouse get stuck in get stuck in like the shopping centre and then stuff ensues. That's what I'd like to do. Do you want/do you have children? I'm actually 5 months pregnant. No, I do not have any children. I would like to in the distant future because I love kids. I just love them. They're adorable. They're so innocent and fun, and just the things they say are just... But that's besides the point. So I want kids, multiple kids, maybe 2, a boy and a girl preferably, close in age but far apart enough that one feels they're older, one feels they're younger. I don't know if I want to have that middle child because I don't want them to ever feel neglected. I don't like the idea that someone feels neglected, so yes. What are you looking for in a relationship? Well, first and foremost, I'm looking for a best friend that you can do freaky things with. Yes, a best friend who will be my partner in crime. I just call them up and I'm like, hey, this thing's on tonight, let's do it. Spontaneity and openness at the same time. Willing to just lounge around and do shit all. Watching TV shows and just the company. Company's great. What is one thing about yourself you'd like me to know? One thing is that I have 2 accents. One that I use for new people I meet and people that are my friends. The other is my talking to fellow fellows and family. So I have my Australian accent, which is the one you hear now. My default accent, I actually don't know. It depends on who I'm talking to. And then my family fob accent, which is a mixture of Filipino, Aussie, and American. It's just this weird garbled mix, which if you ask me to do it on the spot, I probably cannot. Also, I'm an anxious soul. That's probably one other thing you should know before signing up to this freak show. But besides that, I'm a good person. If you won a lottery, how would you spend your millions? Well, I'll donate it all to charity. I would donate some to charity. I would quit my job first and I would just pursue acting. That's what I'd really like to do, because if I don't have to work, I can just do what I want to do, which is acting. I would do that. I'd bribe producers to get me on their films. I would pay off all my debts, pay off my family's debts. We'd go on a big fat cruise and sail the world. Which was the first crush you ever had? The one I could remember the earliest is on a boy called Jake. It was in kinder and we were both 4. I just felt he looked like the yellow wiggle from the Wiggles, like original circa 2000. He looked like Greg. You've got 6 months to live. What will you do first? First, I'd run out of the clinic, seeing as I'd probably be told in a clinic that I've only got 6 months to live. Then I'd run out the door. I'd scream, I'd cry, and I would get depressed for at least the first month. And then for the rest of the 5 months, I would pick myself up and I would travel every state of the world and try and spend as much time as I can with family and friends with the limited time that I have. And I'd sign up to be an organ donor. Are you a morning or a night person? Well, seeing as I sleep at about 2 a.m. every day, I'd technically be considered a morning person. That's how it works, is it? If you had friends coming over, what would you cook? Well, I probably wouldn't have to cook because my mum always has something in the fridge and she likes to shove it down people's throats and be like, hey, I did this, I did that, in a loving Filipino way. So I probably wouldn't even have to cook. But if I had to, I would make the mee goreng, or I would cut up some spam, fry an egg, and fry some rice and be like, hey, eat that. It's delicious. Not that I'm not a good cook, it's just that that's what I'd make my friends. I don't love them enough to make them a 3-course meal. If you could travel back in time, what single mistake would you change? People always say, well, if I didn't make the mistakes I made, I wouldn't be the person that I am. But I freaking regret not taking up ballet in my youth because I think I'd be an amazing ballerina. I have the calves for it. I was able to be on my tippy toes since I was 6, and just like, I just would wonder how my life would have turned out if I had pursued that. Lastly, where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5 years, I will be 26 and old. Preferably, I'm in some sort of long-term relationship by then, thinking about settling down, blah 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 blah. But that's the realistic side. The unrealistic side of me would have liked to, by now, been in a feature film, started a business in self-development of others, such as organization, KondoMari style. You know, you ask people, does this spark joy? Does this make you happy? You go through their drawers and you're just like, hey, get that shit together. I'd like to have been the highest level of happiness by then and just continue to travel further and further into an abyss of joy. That was a shit answer. But on that note, I hope you've learnt a lot about me and my singleness, and probably this explains why I am single. For all you out there who want to make a dating profile, please, I tag you. Put your video down below and I will be sure to watch it, and who knows, we might be compatible. No, that's not what this is for. This is just me making a video on a Sunday evening. Alright, that's enough of me and procrastinating from doing my work. Hope you have a good day, and a video will be up next week. I hope you enjoy it. Goodbye.